Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So if you heard from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, the word was post, and it came through two different ways. Maybe we're getting to a place that we want to start putting ourselves out there somehow, or we're coming into a place of holding ourselves to uh, higher regards of integrity, you know, showing up for ourselves and standing up for ourselves. Our supporting angel number card was Well of the Soul. Believe you can succeed. What really stood out was number one. The one there at the bottom is the first step to doing anything. We have to believe we can succeed. Otherwise, we won't do it. We won't succeed. We won't try. If we really look back and think of how many different times in life have we not done something because of that, whether large or small, we didn't have the confidence. How quickly did we shut that idea down in our mind because of just normal limiting beliefs, and how society in general says that's impossible, that can't be done, or we're looking at the normal avenues of obtaining this goal, this item, this project, whatever it is, factoring in resources and time, and then reflecting back on maybe our confidence levels, our experience in general. There's This is a huge thing. This is very large. And then just going back to that integral aspect of worried about repercussions. How is this going to reflect? How am I going to reflect? Confrontation. Who am I going to lose by becoming or being who I want to be? There's a lot at risk, and there's a lot of limiting around anything and everything, no matter which direction we go with here. Just looking in general, uh, putting ourselves out there. Remember that we're doing it for ourselves. Sometimes we go after uh, the aspect of attention, and when leading with that, we're at the mercy of whoever's out there. And then we kind of have to change who we are to become accepted or to become liked. If we're doing it from a place of us, what does it really matter? What does it matter? What is the main goal? Is the goal to uh, have I think if we really think of like things in a very large scale, it is driven by the viewer. What do they want? Or what do we direct them towards to want? You know, when we do that, we are at the mercy of them. When we come back to this place of doing it for you and leading in that way, there is a different reward there versus, because otherwise we wouldn't be holding our post. If we look at it that way, back to the integrity aspect, just in general, if I am holding myself back or keeping my views or suppressing my voice in normal interactions with people, I am at I am giving up to please them, if we will, to keep the peace, to keep things in a stalemate. I don't know why I'm saying stalemate, but I guess it would be because I'm not progressing, because I'm reserved. And then maybe we get this like little bit of resentment inside somehow. We'll dive deeper. We'll see what else comes up here. Three of Swords, heartbreak. Uh, Normally we can think of this with others, but even if others are involved in leading with how this started, we'll always be broken inside to an extent when we're not living our authentic place. We're not coming from an authentic place. If I am in a romantic relationship or in a friend group or a family unit or even work, uh, if something comes in and I can't say my true voice or my true feelings or my true opinion, uh, I'm giving up a piece of me by allowing whatever to take place or to be said. It doesn't have to be drastic. It could just be a simple conversation. And I don't have enough to say what I want to say or to be validated or experienced by my experience. If I can't present that, that's going to take a piece of me away and it's going to hurt. And then maybe I'll beat myself up and say, I wish I would have said that. I wish they would just understand. Uh, Normally, this takes place with this idea of an authorial figure, or maybe it's just solely based on confrontation. We don't want to experience this. Uh, at that time, I mean, yes, we can look at this with other individuals, and maybe me saying something or speaking my uh, opinion or my feelings may lead to something like that. And maybe that's a fear of this loss, this connection. But I'm hurting myself the same way. Every time I would reserve or hold back, I am still creating this pain in me, and it is a huge disservice to us. But if we're still hanging on to this external validation, this need for this connection to continue by suppressing ourselves so much in fear of losing that, it's something we really have to question. What is worth it, or is it not? It's no different than going to the idea of uh, putting ourselves out there, online. Let's say doing that. And if I'm at the mercy of everyone that watches, yeah, I'm in the same exact position. If I am holding myself back or keeping myself very strict to uh, feed them what they want to hear, to gain that accept me, and keep them appeased, but I'm not saying what I really want to say or what I know is true. It's the same thing. We'll always be in this place of suppression. Well, it's gonna hurt. I'm I'm at the mercy of everyone around me for this acceptance or non-confrontational experience, which it hurts. It really feels like it hurts no matter which way we go. It's gonna hurt doing, if I was this, the rejection or the repercussions would hurt, but I'm hurting myself the same way by suppressing it. So, what is better? To be true and authentic in our place, and then to allow, excuse me, uh, that energy and that presentation of me, the true self, be accepted by those that are willing to come in for that, or suppress that continuously and accept what is present. Queen of Pentacles. When I was shuffling there, I was going back to the idea of believing you can succeed. And this is obviously can be taken in either way, just us getting back to our authentic place and our voice, but also going towards a goal or a new job or a project or maybe an experience online. And, Queen of Pentacles, practicality. This was going back to, like, say I want to start a business or buy a house or uh, apply for a job that maybe I don't have a degree in or the work experience. Believing you can succeed is number one, always. And how quickly we knock ourselves down. I can't buy this house because I don't have this or this in line, and I can't make it work. And I get out there, it's ugly. But there is other ways. There are always other ways. Same thing with the business idea. How can I do this? Or for some reason, like a food truck idea is coming through, and I need a commissary location. Like there's all these hoops that they put in our way that the little guys have such trouble getting ahead, or just where they deserve to be, I should say. But it's presented, uh, and it's absolutely so difficult. Like let's look at uh, cities in general and people that don't want to experience that very toxic environment, and they should get out and have an experience and have grass and a yard and things, and just trying to get out of that situation is virtually impossible. This is found in every aspect of our life. If the little guy starts to win or looks too good, the big guy somehow is going to come and try to change those odds, just like a casino. It's gonna look like, hey, you can still win, but they're still getting their hands in every pocket, uh, altering the system. There's other ways, and this practicality is came through as, looking at things on the face value. It's impossible. How quickly we can shut things down in our mind, and rightfully so. It does appear that way, but there is a different way. There always is, and I'm not saying in an illegal sense. There is a way to legally do things. Uh, it might take a different view and a different direction, and we might, instead of just being able to go straight through, we have to go around. But how bad do you want it? How much is our life going to change? uh, no different than going back to the other aspect of interacting with people and actually speaking our voice, looking at things very practicality, that, well, if I say this is going to happen. A probability is there, but how do we know? Would we rather have people in our court that actually support us, respect our opinion, even if we're romantically dating this person, or in our family or our friends? Don't we want somebody that actually accepts us and doesn't accept us for this false facade of how we would be presenting ourselves? No different than here online. If I am just an entertainer, which means I'm at the mercy of my viewers, is that the real me? You know, let's just think of like a musician, and they have to put this face on when they go to concerts and stuff. And maybe that's not, they're really them. They're just doing it for the face, the show. It's a show. Is it really who we are? When do we want to become who we are? And when are we going to be happy with that? Ace of Cups, awakening, seeing things for what they are. This whole world nowadays is led by what you see here, what I appear as. And everybody out there gets to make their own assumptions of, we'll use me as an example, me, where I came from, what I went through, how good my life is, uh, my experiences. It's all projection. It's all assumptions. It's all ideas. And everyone's going to have a different one, because they're going to reflect their experience onto my experience. And this would be no different than you. Granted, a lot of it is, it's how can I get you to come to me, to validate me, to show me? It's numbers. No different than how money is nowadays. It's a number, and it's not even there. It's something we believe in, we trust in. We've put our faith and our livelihood on a number, which banking, no different than here, on clicks, views, likes, hearts, whatever does what, I don't know. It is this gravitation of, this is important, or this is popular, or this is what you want to be, or this is what you want to go to because everyone else wants to. Well, what everyone else wants to isn't always where we should be going. It's not uh, authentic, you know. If it's like, this is coming to example for some reason, it's like, just because the way something looks doesn't mean it is what it is. Like, if you look at me and you saw me in public, do I really look like this spiritual guy that is really into this stuff, or I probably just look like a normal person? And there's nothing wrong with how people appear or how they dress, but I'm not dressing a certain way to uh, show myself that way. Now others do, and that's fine. I'm not saying that, but it is, things are not as they seem, is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot more inside of you than you probably express. And maybe we are not being free with that because we're worried about, this potential experience. If I never came on here and started talking into this stuff as I do, no one would know unless I would have said something to them. And how many people do you think randomly I could say this to, even close, family or friends, that would accept it well? Probably none. Or they make fun of you because they don't like it, or they don't understand it, or it's above them, or they don't want to go down that road because that would deal with looking at our emotions and things like that. It's often rejected. So no one would know. And this is no different than in your experience. No one would know that you feel suppressed if you can't say something or you're not being heard properly. Or if you want to express yourself creatively, in a way and show it out here and find people that do enjoy it. That's no different than why I'm here. You know, who could I help? From my experiences, how could I help someone? And uh, what does it matter at that point? Because if I if I suppress it everywhere and everyone I interact with, what am I doing? Eight of Cups, spiritual growth. This is really coming into self in a place of seeing the bigger picture in a way that kind of leaving this need for the external validation. Now, I was thinking about that the other day, and as much as we may try to pull away from that, there is still some that exists because we are uh, communitorial individuals, I guess. We're here. We are uh, looking for a group, even though I try to say, don't get categorized, don't, be yourself is what I'm usually rooting for. And then we naturally fall into these categories, but not all the time these categories fit us, and being okay with that. You know, you can enjoy things that don't always go in line with these categories. And a lot of people give up parts of themselves to fit into a category. Maybe they want to be a part of something. And I really stress, don't waver that. That's also where the post comes in, standing post the integrity that I can like this and do this and this polar opposite thing. And that's okay. I don't have to give this up to be a part of this. You do what works for you and be in a good place with that, seeing the bigger picture. Knight of Wands reversed. Fleeting interests. Oh, I think there's a push and a pull here. It's going back to this and whether we are uh, just in a personal connections or going to go out online somehow or start a business or drive after something and really worried about what's going to happen. What's the external going to do to me? You know, is if I present myself, there's no going back type of thing. If I come out of my shell and be me, I'm committed, yes, and I'm worried about what's going to happen, and I get that. But when we really think about it, who are we doing it for? Are we doing it for us, or are we doing it for them? Whether in person or out farther, who's it for? It's got to be for you. It is for you. That's why we're here. Everything, it has to be for you evolving. And when we stay at the place of the mercy for everyone else, where are we? We're we're nowhere different than where we started, no matter what part of life we go through. And I'm not saying you have to be an asshole about it or really scream in your face, look at me. It is just being you and not at the mercy of everyone else. People will come and go in our lives and our experience, and that's also a reflection of where we're at in life and healing and expanding. But don't you want the people that actually fit in there versus the people that we're changing ourselves to fit? It's a big difference when we look at it that way, and that's really where it comes into choosing ourselves, being ourselves, and allowing that to reflect and those individuals to come in that reflect that positive aspect of our experience versus a negative one. I'm going to leave it there. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.